Everyone, welcome back to the MedKit Diaries YouTube channel. My name is Suchita, and today I'm going to take you through a day in my life as a post-intern MBBS graduate. Hope you enjoy. My day starts off with my alarm going off at 7 a.m., which I promptly switch off and go back into bed. Before deciding that it'd be better if I let some light into my room to prevent me from going back into deep sleep. After a bit of forced shut-eye, I decided to check the notifications that I got over the night on my phone. Then I make my way to my whiteboard where I start off by writing the date and setting up my to-do list. I write down the things that I do every day, like revise Anki cards and do question banks. Then I check the Prep Ladder app, or in this case the teacher's individual app, to see what videos I'm going to study. Today, I know with filming I wouldn't be able to cover too many videos, so I decide to revise topics I studied a few days ago instead. Then I turn on the lights in my room and grab my yoga mat. Please don't ask why I have 3 different ones in my room. And I do a few Surya Namaskars and light stretching. I find that this helps with backache I get from sitting at my desk all day. After that, I mark my habit tracker for the tiny bit of exercise that I did, and I get some hot water and settle down to do Anki cards for 40 minutes. My camera didn't save any of that footage, so you're going to have to take my word for it. While I was revising the cards, my wonderful mother came to give me some fruits, which I happily ate. By the time I'm done, it's 7:15, so I decide to get out of my room and start my day. I grab my clothes and make my way to brush my teeth. I lament at a huge pimple that grew overnight, but then I realized that it's alright and decide to move on. I enjoy the greenery from my balcony before spending the rest of the day indoors. Even though I have to stay in the whole day, I put on some serum from a face mask I'd used the previous night and comb my hair. I spray some perfume in my room to elevate the mood before going into the kitchen to grab some breakfast, where my mom was on a video call with the rest of my family. Mummy is a very important aspect of my life.
What are you taking a video?
I'm taking a video of you.
Don't take a video of me.
Okay. See you. Don't come at me for pouring the milk before cornflakes. It's just more comfortable this way for me. Hi! After having a leisurely bath and breakfast, I realize it's already 9:10 and decide to sit down to get some revision done. But not before checking my phone and turning on the timer to track how long I study for. I revise my notes and highlight some points that I find important. As I mentioned in a previous video about how I effectively use Prep Ladder, I watch short videos on YouTube about the diseases that I don't get. This helps me remember things and it makes the study process a lot less monotonous. I do this for almost 2 hours until at 11 I start to feel sleepy again, so I decide to make myself some espresso. Now I don't claim to be good at making coffee, but I try. Pro tip, don't be on your phone while your mocha pot's lid is open. I enjoy my coffee while watching a random episode of Run BTS because I feel like I deserve a break. After finishing the episode, I go to wash the mocha pot. And then cut off one more item from my to-do list. Clap for yourself for making it to this point in the video. Even though I've already taken an hour-long break, I spend another 15 minutes scrolling through Instagram. Finally, I realized that I'm wasting my life. So at almost 12:15, I get to revising carbohydrate cycles, which I hate and I'm really bad at. Biochem was probably the hardest subject for me during MBBS, harder than even anatomy. So I know I have to study it really well this year. So instead, I spend an hour talking to my friends from 1 to 2. At 2, my mom reminds me to eat, and I settle down with some lemon rice and dahi. For a change in scenery, I sit on my bed instead and watch random YouTube videos.
किसी को पढ़ाने के लिए ना you have to be bad at the subject.
I explain my ridiculous statement to my father very seriously. I finish lunch with some mishti doi to add some sweetness to my otherwise very better life. This whole day kind of feels like I've been underwater. I explain a thing on Anki to a friend and finally get back to my books at 2:40. I haven't watched a single prep ladder video so far, so I do that. I make some hibiscus tea about an hour in. And then get back to the video. One of my goals for this year is to improve my Hindi. So I spend an hour and a half from 5 to 6:30 almost every day reading Premchand to my boyfriend as he explains what I don't get. From 6:30 to 7:20, I go through 2 question banks on Marrow, and honestly this takes me a lot longer than it should because I really wanted to read and remember the explanations. I decided to make myself some ramen for dinner. I made a slightly upgraded version as recommended by Tableau of Epic High, so you can check that out if you want to level up your ramen game. I watch another episode of Run BTS halfway before switching to a podcast by The Bone Teacher. Honestly, I'm so done with this day because I feel like I haven't achieved anything. So I give up, play some music, and cross whatever I achieved off of my to-do list. I wash the dishes and get out a coloring book, which I enjoy coloring for about half an hour. When I'm done with that, I almost knock my phone off the stand, which is just as good a sign of how the day's been going as any. It's 8:30 and I decide to review an old test that I'd taken and add some 20 questions to Anki. Not gonna lie, at this point I was barely able to focus because I was so done with myself. My mother is a sweetheart who brought me some more mishti doi and I took another undeserved break while devouring it. Finally done. And this is what my to-do list looks like at the end of the day. I didn't cut off the Q bank and videos because I felt like I didn't deserve to. I go to brush my teeth and then contemplate what I should do now because it was only 9:30. So I braid my hair to feel more in control. I suddenly remember that I haven't washed my face, so I go to do that. When I get back, my level of doneness is clearly evident by the way I drag the tripod. I do my night routine of toner, serum, and lip balm. Honestly, after doing all of this, I feel like I've calmed down a little, so I do another 3 question banks on Prep Ladder for half an hour. At 10:15, I feel a little better for finishing at least one more thing off my list, and definitely studying for 6 hours, even though the quality of that study is questionable. I read a novel for another 20 to 30 minutes until I go to sleep. This was one of my bad days in terms of productivity because I felt like my head was underwater the whole time. I hadn't filmed a video like this in a really long time, so that probably contributed. But I have days like this every now and then regardless. Those days, I just try to get by making sure that I at least do something productive, just so I don't break consistency, even if none of the work I do is of high quality. Because for me, it's all too easy to fall back into the patterns of not doing anything. I hope that some of you who are in the same boat as I am find comfort that you're not alone in having bad days. For me, the next day was actually a lot better in terms of work because I ended today on a good note, which set the tone for the next morning. Anyway, guys, that was a day in my life. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!